Have you ever experienced gaslighting in any of your relationships, either with work colleagues or romantically? Stick with us till the end and we're going to tell you how to outsmart a gaslighter. And that would be a very interesting thing, won't it, Paul?
Yes, we're the happy headers. Like us and subscribe to us. The term gaslighting, it comes from a 1936 play by Patrick Hamilton, and it was later a film, a 1944 film starring Ingrid Bergman, and it's got to do with this this husband who manipulates his wife into thinking that she's losing her mind. He turns down the gas lights in the house, in the apartment where they are, dims them down, and when she notices that, he goes, no, they're not dim, it's just you think that they're dim, and she begins to stop trusting herself.
That's the real thing, I think, with gaslighting. Like, I remember thinking gaslighting is it makes you, somebody's says something to you to make you angry, so you look like you're the crazy one.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the origin really of where I started to learn about it.
Manipulation.
But it's so much manipulation, coercive control, you know, making you think like your reality isn't real.
You doubt yourself, and
you think that.
And that's a slippery slope, isn't it, when you get onto it?
Absolutely.
But it's something that, like, you know, either a person or a group of people, and you see this in religions and you see it in cults, where they erode the person's own mind, so the person begins to go, I actually, I'm not sure of where I stand on this or how I think, and then they kind of, because
I did say that.
Yeah, they kind of go, well, if all of them are saying that, then that must be true, because, you know, it's the herd mentality. They must be right because there's more of them than me. Yeah,
and you buy into that whole
thing. You do.
And it's the same in relationships then, you know, especially romantic relationships where you're intimately connected with somebody. And I've been in a good few of these type of relationships actually in my youth, you know, where you have like somebody who's telling you, no. But I was in on time. You must have been dreaming.
Yeah.
You know.
And you give them the benefit of the doubt because you want to be nice.
Yeah. You don't want to seem like you're a crazy, jealous person, you know.
Yeah.
Checking the phone.
And we all know some of them.
In here. We all know people like that for sure.
You get it with narcissistic personalities where, and I've experienced this with somebody kind of, you always think you're right.
Yeah.
And then I'm going,
Jesus,
do I? No, I don't. I don't think I think that. But do I come across like that? And you're this introspection. You're caught up. You're eroding your own confidence in your own ability, and then you think, but the person, okay, I wonder if anybody else say that to me, and nobody else might say that to you, but you still that seed of doubt has been planted.
You'd be wondering then, do other people think that about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember people saying things. Somebody said something like that to me before, and then I was going around thinking, Jesus, am I actually, you know, that way? And you really question your own mental health, your sanity. You think you're going crazy,
and that's the thing, isn't it? Prolonged exposure to this creates depression. It creates anxiety. You really don't know your arse from your head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which way is up?
Yeah, and some of the warning signs, I suppose, really for this would be, you know, denial. You think, oh no, I mustn't have, you know, that mustn't be true.
Yeah.
It's got to be something else. You know, minimising, I suppose, what happened as well. If somebody says to you, like, oh, you know, I wasn't talking to somebody, that particular person, I was talking to this person, and you're really kind of think, wow, I must have seen that wrong or heard that wrong.
Yeah.
What else did they do? Oh yeah, the love bombing thing. I nearly forgot about that. Like, they're experts at love bombing, lads. So you have to watch out for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just loads of gifts and love and tell you how amazing they are and all that kind of thing.
You're fantastic, and it's okay if your memory's a little bit flawed and you're not sure.
Yeah.
And you're fine. I'll look after you.
Nonsense.
And then you see you're totally manipulated because you are the lesser. Your opinion does not carry as much weight as the other person's opinion in a relationship. But you said in your introduction, it's not necessarily just relationships. You get it in work.
Yeah, definitely.
In employment situations where you have somebody, whether they're your superior or not, will have that kind of a hold over you. Would they kind of go, you know, no, you didn't submit that report. No, I did. I sent that email. And then even you check it, you kind of go, well, did you send it to the right address? Or, you know, did you send it on time? And it always comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's something you have done that erodes your confidence
it happens.
Yourself.
Actually, when we were talking about bullying as well, it happens there a lot. You know, somebody who's trying to, you know, get a reaction out of you as well so that you look bad in front of other people.
Yeah.
And it's it's verifying, I suppose, what they're saying about you, that you're crazy and that you're not
I suppose-
well in the head.
yes.
It's kind of horrible thing.
To do that, to kind of provoke a response out of you, and then
Provoke
kind of, oh, look at you now, I did say you were
Now
an angry
look.
person.
Yeah.
But anger is appropriate if you're being poked and poked and poked, like poking the bear.
Yeah.
And then what to do is, you said, to do the love bombing after
Yeah.
that. Oh, it's okay to be angry.
Yeah. It's
It's
all
okay.
right, don't worry.
It's okay to be
Don't worry, it's
irrational
fine.
and have that response. You're
go.
fine. You're fine. I'll look after you. I'll take care of you.
I'll mind you.
And
Jesus.
to move beyond gaslighting, it's first of all to recognize it, kind of go, hold on a minute, you know, I can't be the one that's always wrong. I can't be always, this is not just an idea or a theory that I have in my head, but this actually is happening.
Yeah.
So it's an awareness that there's a problem and it needs to be addressed and changed, and that's when people go for help.
Yeah, I've had so many cases where I would be doing EMDR maybe with a client, and they'd realise that their partner of years was manipulating them the whole time, you know,
Yeah.
and gaslighting indeed, you know. So I suppose some ways to catch them out would be good to recognise, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be nice to go through, but it's amazing because you begin to see things so clearly during that therapeutic process,
Yeah.
and you would in hypnosis as well, and in what, you know, any psychotherapeutic approach, really, you begin to see things so clearly when you do talk to a professional, and that's why I would always recommend that.
Yeah.
Talk to somebody else outside of it, not your family or friends, you know, because
They have preconceived notions as to who
They
you
do.
are and what you're about. So
Yeah.
a therapist can see you through non-judgmental, neutral eyes.
yeah, absolutely.
And they can see, and also therapists would have had experience of dealing with this kind of thing hundreds of times, so they'll be able to advise you and talk you through it.
Yeah.
But it's that awareness that, hold on a minute, you know, I'm a fallible human being, of course, but I can't always be wrong, because that's
Absolutely, yeah.
unrealistic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say to people as well, rather than, you know, turning that in on yourself and going, oh, did I do that? Just be curious about why they think you did.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, isn't
because
it
the truth always comes out in the wash.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
isn't it
like-
projection as well?
Yeah.
They accuse you of the thing that they're doing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh
Especially
my God, yeah.
the narcissist.
Comment in below. Let us know if that's ever happened to you, Kai.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my, it's happened to everybody, I think, hasn't it?
It has.
I'd be so friggin' surprised if it hasn't.
But you see, that was one of the big revelation to me when I started training as a hypnotherapist, was this idea of projection, that people will literally come up and tell you what's wrong with them by pointing it out in you,
Yeah.
and it's their issue.
What's that? Spotted you got it. And I actually hate
Yeah.
that, because sometimes, you know, I can see in people that they're not good people, like, you know, they just have bad fucking
You go,
notions in their
"Must-
head.
must mean I'm a
I'm
bad
like,
person."
I'm not a bad person. Just because I see it.
But you're capable of being bad, and you're not
Oh,
all good
certainly,
either,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
you recognise that in you, which is
Yeah.
fair enough.
Well, I
Because you're
think
not just
that's
one thing.
where we fall down then, you know, and we fall into the narcissistic traps of these people, because we are willing to look inside ourselves and go, well, am I, you know, have I, you know, overdone something or said something or done something wrong, you know?
Yeah,
We're
and the
kind of
thing
that
is-
type of
Yeah,
personality.
but the thing is,
anyway.
if you have done or said something, then you kind of hold on, I haven't done that deliberately. I'm not coming from a bad space. If I've done
Yeah.
it and I've caused harm, you kind of, okay, sorry for that. Didn't mean to do that.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that. I'm watching out for that for the future. It won't happen again.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you find yourself continually apologising
Questioning
and continually going, sorry, yeah,
Sure.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, you are living with somebody who is gaslighting you.
Yes. And so we have a few tips for you now, actually,
Okay.
to catch out a gaslighter. So collect evidence. As Paul said, if somebody says to you, you didn't send that email
Keep
and
a
you know
diary,
you did,
write it down.
I would take notes every day, absolutely. Keep lots of evidence, record conversations even, you know, I don't know what it's like in other countries, but it's not illegal to record a conversation here in Ireland anyways. You can still do that.
Well, I think over the phone, I think if you are, I think you have to advise somebody that you are
I have to tell
recording.
somebody on the phone, but
Yeah.
not in person.
But
so
if it's your
very
husband or your
interesting.
wife, or take your chances.
Just take your chances, it'll be alright. It's not like you're going to use it in a court of law. This is evidence for you to back you up and make you realise that you're not going crazy, you know, that you are being gaslit.
Yeah.
Speak up about the behaviour, you know.
Name it,
just
like, call
name
it-
it.
call it
So
out.
write down, you know, when you say this to me, it makes me feel that way. And then they'll get very discombobulated and they're not going to like that. So they might get a bit angry and stuff. So it's always important to make sure that you're safe, actually, and that your manipulator isn't going to become violent.
Yeah.
So just
But I
keep
think
an eye on that.
I think when you do that, the manipulator loses their power over you, and
Yeah.
that makes them scared.
Yeah, I think it's really about being mature, you know, come at it from an adult perspective.
Emotionally
Don't bow
mature.
your head down. Emotional intelligence, yeah, definitely. And addressing and saying, well, that my memory is very different to yours then on that. You know, and be solid and be strong. Don't be afraid, you know, to stand your ground on
Not
what
only your
you
memory,
believe.
but your perspective on the situation.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's normal for all people of all ages. You know, I'd say the same to children as well.
Yeah, and
Stand your
everybody's
ground on your
perspective is a
memory.
valid one.
Yeah.
Which is okay in relationships to argue and have disagreements.
Yeah.
As long as you both know that you're coming from the right
place, yeah, and we're not trying to, you know, get on top of each other, because that's not what life is about, really, is it?
No.
Yeah, for sure. And then you can always shut down the gaslighter as well by saying something. You know, you can say that we remember things differently, as I was saying before, I suppose, really. Or
Yeah.
do you have any other tips?
No, just call them out. Name the behaviour.
Name it, yeah.
And if you do journal, keep a diary of evidence. You'll be able to read back over a week or even a month, and you'll see the pattern.
Yeah.
You'll see the pattern. So you're not hallucinating. You're not imagining it. This is actually happening. So awareness is the first step in change.
Absolutely. And don't jump too soon. Wait until you have enough evidence gotten together that, you know, he or she can't deny it, and then go forward with that. You know, but always make sure, guys, that you're safe. You know, a lot of gaslighters are narcissistic people and can become violent as well, so you just need to make sure that you're going to be safe in that.
Okay.
All right.
We are the Happy Headers, and we'll talk to you soon.
Whoop. Thanks for listening, guys.